just throw this one out there, right? So we talked about a lot of the players just now. Like we're not seeing emotion from the players. We someone a lot of them pop up and you get like Dugan was saying that like shit, I screwed up again. Like at what point does like a managerial shakeup maybe come in? Are we there yet? Like good point John had before we came on. You know, we shook it up with Girardi when he got fired and Topper came in, and you know what happened the last couple of seasons. Like, how close are we to maybe a Topper dismissal and bringing somebody else in to take it the rest of the way this year? Any thoughts on that, Dugan?
I don't think we're anywhere near that. I mean, when Girardi got fired, that was a really underachieving team at that point with all the talent they had. I think they were 7 or 8 games below 500, maybe even as much as 10 when Girardi got fired, and that change was definitely warranted and needed. And I think the biggest problem with Girardi was he wasn't willing to trust the younger guys who were the better players on the team, and he wouldn't play those guys. He was sticking with the DD Gregoriuses and those types of players that were a little long in the tooth. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this fucking stretch sucks, but the Phils are still 20 something games over 500. I don't think Topper's in danger of losing his job now. A third straight playoff flop, if they go out the same way they did the last 2 years with the bats going silent and some questionable bullpen decisions, then maybe then in the offseason you start thinking like, well, this guy can get us there. He just can't get us over the hump. And you start having those questions. My biggest problem with Topper is he gets in his head with we saw it a couple times in that Yankee series where if he's giving a guy a day off, they're off. Like he wouldn't bat JT, pinch hit JT for Stubbs in the one game. And then yesterday, I thought it was managerial malpractice when Schwarber let off the ninth inning with a single that Turner wasn't in there running for him. Like it made absolutely no sense in a one-run game. He could steal a bag, stay out of the double play. He could create so many things with his legs, but he gets in his head. The guy's got a day off. Yep. He's got a day off. And to me, I think he punts on games sometimes that he does. He has a move on the bench that could help his team win, and he punts on it. And that's one of my biggest problems with Thompson right now is that I think he I roll my 9 out and that's my 9, and he's not going to use his bench even when he has his star players available to him late in games. He doesn't use them that often. The younger guys do. You see Stott pinch it, you see Marsh pinch it. But the older guys, he gives them the whole day off, and I think there was opportunities in that Yankee series to use both JT and Turner to possibly win ball game. So
does anyone like Rob Thompson anymore?
He's not unlikable. I mean, he's just kind of there. He's just kind of a guy.
It's like vanilla ice cream.
Go like this and then go like this. Like, I think that's what he does. He's like, yeah, there's a replay. Okay, let me do the headphones thing and let me make this go ahead motion. Like,
yeah, it's like vanilla ice cream, man.
I think he means he's going nuts. Like he's cuckoo in the head. That's what he means.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
but,
I think let me just one point, John, and then you got it. The other thing that pissed me off yesterday was I thought Sanchez deserved the opportunity to try and get out of that inning. And if you're going to take Sanchez out, you sure as fuck ain't bringing Ruiz in. Bring in one of your fucking late inning guys, because that was the game right there. You got the game to back to within one. You backed him 1 run, and you let Ruiz come in and gives up the 2 runs. And I thought if you weren't going to let Sanchez do it, it should have been like a Hoffman or a Kirkring or somebody late inning guy to come in, not your mop up guy in that spot. I thought it was a bad decision.
Yeah, I think that Topper. I think he's a little closer to being on the edge than some fans think. I don't think he's like about to get fired like right now or anytime. But like you said, if they have another early exit in the playoffs, he might. But I don't think he's getting his like. They love playing for him and all. Oh, we love Topper and all, but he doesn't have that demeanor to me. He doesn't have that going in there and flipping tables and saying, look, we got it, getting in our ass kind of demeanor to me. he seems like he's like Mr. Magoo. He walks in there and go, oh, we'll get him tomorrow kind of guy. Like I don't think he's not getting through.
I don't want to say they're scheduled losses, but to your point, when he has bullets left in the gun at the end of the game, you almost are like, did he kind of put the L down anyway, just for this game?
Yeah.
That's how I kind of feel. Like we were talking about the superstars, right? And so what I want to dive into is what is going on with our guys, right? And I know that Judge took the golden sombrero yesterday. I was there, and that was cool to watch. Trust me, I had like 10 or 12 Yankees fans in my section that I was trying to boo over every time they were freaking cheering. But like, we didn't even see Cole, right? Because he had the flu or whatever he had. But where are Harper and Turner and JT? And when should we expect these guys to start acting like the team we saw in the beginning of the year? Dugan, what do you think, man? Like, how do we turn this thing around?
I don't know. I mean, the shocking thing to me is they have no fear of Harper right now. They're attacking him with fastballs and they're beating him with fastballs. It's really hard to watch because he should be killing these pitches. They're not hitting mistakes. They're swinging and missing on mistakes or fouling them back. Harper looked late yesterday on Nestor Cortez, 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and Harper was late on it. I don't know if he's hurt, needs his eyes checked or something. Something's going on with Harper that just isn't right. Turner, to me, he looked like he had that stretch when he first came back from the injured list where he was hitting bombs every other night, and I think he got pull happy. So he's so totally susceptible to anything on the outside part of the plate because he's totally trying to yank everything to left field. As far as JT, I think JT's bat is slow, and I think it's been slow for a couple of years, and he can get beat with good fastballs on the inside part of the plate. If you let him get his arms extended and hit the ball up the middle or the right side, he'll be successful. But if you crowd him in, he can't get to that pitch anymore. He just can't get there. And that's just age and wear and tear from playing all those games behind the plate and all those foul balls. As far as when can we expect them to come back? No idea. I hope it's fucking tomorrow night. I hope we see it fucking tomorrow night. But, I mean, Harper looks lost. He's not even making solid contact. Everything's weak, when he puts the ball in play. Turner's pulling off. I mean, like Chris said, Castellanos and Stott have been the only two guys that have hit pretty consistently for the past couple weeks. Bohm's still a nice hitter. He's just not getting the RBI opportunities because Schwarber, Turner, and Harper aren't getting on base. I thought Hayes, he's looked good the last couple games after, being a strikeout machine the first couple games he's played. So he could be a nice fit. I thought he hit the ball well yesterday. Didn't have much luck. Just missed two home runs.
You know what, Chris? That's a good point. You know what? 9 days out of 10, that last at bat by Hayes is a fucking home run. Yeah. And when shit's going bad, it's against the wall.
Yeah.
Both of his last two.
Yeah.
His last two. Yeah, he just missed them both. I like Hayes. I think he's going to fit in well. I think he's had some good swings. Hopefully Stott's starting to show something. Castellanos can stay hot. And these other guys can get going. But then you got the issues in the bullpen, too, where these guys just aren't as shut down as they were in the beginning of the season. The starting pitching's not as good as it was in the beginning of the season. Everything kind of, all three phases of the game. I mean, their defense has been abysmal, since the All-Star break. They've been terrible defensively. It's like every phase of the game, they've just shit the bed after the All-Star break. And it's you're not going to win games that way.
I literally think Bobby Dickerson threw some shit in the dugout or in the clubhouse because on that game on Saturday against the Guardians or Indians or whoever you want to call them, they played great defense. We were there. Yeah. Remember the night before that, they couldn't field in the first inning, and then the night after that, they couldn't field in the first inning. That game, I think he flipped some tables and it got in their head for one game. That's just my opinion. Yeah. I want to get to the deadline stuff here in a minute, but we need to do two things. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Listen, if you go to SeatGeek and you put in the code
SeatGeek.
Drunk Phil's Fan, no S, all capitals, you get 20% off your first
$20.
purchase. SeatGeek.com, Drunk Phil's Fan. All right. Thank you for that. I want to also go into a trivia. It is I gotta hide I gotta hide from John the answer. It is a month centric one. Actually, both of these are, so that's why I want to do it. So remember the rules. If you want to answer, call your name out and then give the answer. Hunter Pence was acquired on July 29th of what year for Jared Cosart, John Singleton, Josh Zaid, and Domingo Santiago?
Dugan, 2011.
You got it. Good job, Chris. Can you imagine Jared Cosart, John Singleton, Josh Zaid, and Domingo Santiago? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys I never heard of.
Singleton's playing for the Astros right now.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Good for him. All right, cool. So, like I was saying, let's go really quick. We got 40 comments. Let's check out see who said fuck the Mets first. Ooh, we got a new winner. Tracy. Nice job, Tracy. That was at 7 even. Bud, you screwed up, buddy. 701. But thank you. Oh, Bud had cream chip beef for dinner. That's fantastic.
Nice.
Oh, man. How many F-bombs so far? I don't know, Ed. We didn't have a counter on. Someday we should.
Chris was at least 60.
Wait, sorry. I lied. Bud counted. 7.
I'm
Thank you,
surprised
Bud.
it was only that.
Mike. Uh-oh. There we go. My clicker is stuck. Mike said, fuck the Mets and what the act. We need to get our heads out of our asses. I think we covered that, right, Chris?
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's a good one. If I can get my. There we go. Let's answer that one. Does Kevin Long need to go? Who wants to go?
Who was he made better?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is it the approach that he teaches, or what? This just swing from the ass. I mean, we were told, that Rojas was going to work on making more contact and being more of a ground ball line drive hitter, and he still swings out of his ass. So, I mean, I know the hitting coach doesn't walk up there with the bat in his hand and swing for these guys, but if he's teaching that approach of just, swing as hard as you can, close your eyes, and hope you hit it, I mean, it's not effective because it makes them prone to these fucking slumps, these droughts where they can't hit shit,
Chris,
I don't know.
It's not just that. It's like we're texting back and forth. Harper's getting a change up first pitch here.
Yeah.
It's fucking, like if we're fucking drinking and know it.
Yeah.
Is he just not saying it? Or do they not fucking know that it's going to happen?
Start banging on the fucking trash cans, man.
Yeah.
Bang on the trash cans.
I think we need jobs. I think they all need to hire us.
And why?
Jesus.
Why was Kevin Long brought here? Because he's familiar with what 3 people? Schwarber, Harper, and Turner.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I think there's your answer, Rob. I think we are less than enthused with Kevin Long's job that he's done here. I love this. Two comments in a row. Tony, why is it that when the away team doesn't score in extra innings at the top of the inning, the home team doesn't bunt? Dude, I'm going to take this one first, guys, because, Tony, we were screaming, all of us, at the TV, in our group text, screaming bunt. We are as lost as you are. It's just not how it is anymore. They're going to try and hit a home run. And it doesn't matter if you win by 1 or 2. It just matters if you win. And they all just want to hit a homer. So anybody else have a differing opinion?
Yeah. I bunt twice. I'm fucking dead serious. When you're in a slump, bunt bunt someone twice. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yep.
For,
Well, I can't believe they haven't used the bunt effectively now. The way they're struggling to score runs. I mean, the third baseman plays shortstop half the time on the left-handed batters. They're
All the
fucking giving
time.
you a hit. They're giving it to you. Just fucking take it. You know.
yeah.
But
Every
I
time,
agree 100%. Fun.
every time I'm watching a game of Papa John, and like if there is that that ghost run or whatever, he always says, and if you're watching Papa John, you can quote this every time. He's like, that first batter should drop a bunt down and advance that guy to third automatically. That should be your first go-to bunt.
So Papa John, he'll take $10 million. I think Papa John might take $10. He's like, I'll go
There you
up
go,
there and
Pop.
get hit in the fucking head. He's like, I will fucking take one to the fucking head to win the game. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Good job. I need the IT department, i.e. Chris. Why isn't YouTube live? Rocco, I have no idea, but
I don't know. That's how Papa John's
I don't
on.
know either. It shows that it's good here, and Steve's watching it.
Yeah.
all right, Rocco,
I don't
it's
know.
your connection then, brother.
Plug it and unplug it.
Fred says hello. What's up, Fred? And then no way they should remove Topper. Girardi was on the same page as his wasn't on the same page as his players. So I think we covered that one, but Fred agrees with us. So there's a couple of comments here. One's from Desmond, one from Mike Warnock. I want to cover in a minute about the Phillies being the best team in baseball. So hang on YouTube for that. So Derek says, so if Harper is missing these pitches, what does that have to do with Rob? Well, so here's why I asked that question, Derek, because you're not going to fire your $300 million player, and you've got two of them, and then you've got a $25 million player in Castellanos and a $20 million player in JT. But you can fire the manager that they really like, and that might piss them off enough to actually do well. That's why I asked the question. But, clearly Topper doesn't have anything to do with him missing the pitches, but it might be a motivating factor. What else we got here? All right, I think we should move into what those guys were talking about a minute ago. MLB.com, when they put out their power stat for this week with the Phillies still in the first position, said this is what you want your team to do at the deadline when it's loaded with veterans and focused solely on winning the World Series. Attack its weaknesses, in parentheses, bullpen. Be willing to overpay a little bit to do it and otherwise get out of the way. The Phillies have just one goal, and the deadline got them a little closer to do it. What more can you ask? So I ask you guys, and Chris, I think you can start first. How do you grade the deadline moves, and what are your first thoughts on Hayes? That's the first part. And then with a small sample size so far, just one inning each, how about Banks and Estevez?
So you know what? On the surface, I'm like it's a C because I don't give a shit about Sir Anthony, Pache, whatever two dopes they gave up that are prospects, Clausen. Prospects to me, I really don't give a shit about them because there's so many Kyle Drabeks, and we've talked about this over and over. You know what? Hayes reminds me of Pence a little bit. And I don't know why. I feel like Hayes might have a really small head like Beetlejuice. I don't know if you guys have felt that, but I didn't see it. Or he reminds me of the Flintstones' Great Gazoo when he's wearing a helmet, and I don't know why. He started off poor, but listen, I don't know. I liked when he got hit and he was really fucking pissed off. That's the only dude I saw pissed off the whole fucking month of July. So I think the Hayes one, giving him left fields, and you already know he doesn't hit righties. I hope that he blossoms, but I fear that we're going to be in that same situation where he's a platoon guy. Maybe he can hit lefties enough to where it's like, hey, that's cool. Getting a real closer, like we've been pissed off about it. I watched Estevez enough. You know, you do fantasy baseball, you have MLB. Yo, this is a big fucking dude. Estevez is like fucking humongous. I feel like he's 6'8", 6'9". I don't know what he actually is, but he's up there throwing 97, 98. Dude, I'm liking this dude. Like, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to call him a motherfucker soon enough.
Slider looked really good live yesterday.
Okay. And then Tanner, like, this is like one of those ones where it's like, but I don't know. 08 needed Real Cormier. Like, maybe this is that dude. You know, Strom shit in the bed a little bit. Alvarado's been terrible, so they need someone left-handed. So they did what they had to do. It wasn't flashy. After, like, getting just Whit Merrifield in the offseason, you just hope they were like, all right, we're going to go out and get Crochet. And I read a story that, like, oh, Dave was with it until the last thing. Well, I'd love to know, like, I would love at some point, and I guess we know years down the line, what was the fucking problem with not getting this dude? Like, who did they not want to give up? Was it too many, or was it a particular guy?
He wanted an extension, too, though. He wanted an extension to pitch in the playoffs because he's coming off the Tommy John. So he said,
yeah,
I'm not going to pitch in the playoffs unless you give me an extension. So Phillies might not have been ready to commit that kind of money to him, you know. Well,
it's not our money, but like the dude's the best pitcher in the major leagues.
I get it.
So, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, they're like, hey, Taijuan Walker's coming back and the splitter's looking really good. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you brought this up a little bit, and we just got something in on Twitter. At Washi Washi wants to know why is Hayes playing every day when he has no more than a platoon in Baltimore, and it makes our defense worse. Wasn't the objective to get Rojas more at bats? I mean, kind of what you were saying, right?
I think they're proving that they don't trust Rojas. I thought Hayes was coming here to platoon with Marsh and left, and Rojas would kind of be the everyday center fielder, and they flipped the switch on us, and Marsh is playing a lot more out in center than Rojas is, and Rojas is kind of becoming that late inning defensive replacement, you know.
Guys, am I wrong, or is Hayes not an elite defender and has an absolute missile for an arm? Am I wrong?
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I think people are underestimating. Like, I was looking at this dude's numbers. Like, this dude's got a fucking cannon for an arm. No one's running on him. They're not going to run on this dude.
I think he's going to blossom more too because he has a more regular role here. Like that commenter just said, you know, he only had a platoon role in Baltimore. That was this year, but the last 3 years, he was an all-star last year. He had a regular role the last 3 years. This year, Baltimore was throwing him all over the place, and I guess, you know, they didn't need him anymore, and they gave him to us. And
Santander's hitting 30 home runs too, right, John?
Yeah.
So like they didn't expect that. This dude's hitting 30. They're like, all right, sorry, Austin, we don't need you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't have a regular role, so I mean, when you got that, then you got Mullins and all them, so he can come here and fill a role like immediately. And I think the first couple games or so, like him shitting the bed, I just think he had to get his feet wet, get comfortable in a new spot, in a regular spot. And I'm hoping that, you know, that repetition, just staying out there in a regular spot and left helps him. I mean, I was
pretty proud the other day when I said, you know, when he started off slow in my post where I said he's just getting used to the time difference between here and Baltimore. Like, I don't think that like people appreciated that enough, but I did. I was like, all right, this might be my best work.
Yeah, that was good. I like the moves the Phillies made. But I wish there was one more. Like I was hoping for an everyday impact player in center field, or at the very least, an impact bat on the bench. I mean, you still look at that bench, it's Rojas, it's Weston Wilson, and it's Stubbs and Sosa. It's not a bench that strikes fear in the hearts of, I mean, Weston Wilson's okay, but I would have liked maybe a veteran bat. If you weren't going to get an impact center fielder, get a veteran bat with some pop.
There's a guy that's got 7 years experience down there, Chris. Number
Oh,
0.
yeah,
Scotty Slapnuts.
Scotty Slapnuts.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are talking a lot about center field, so let's keep it going. I had down here, since Hayes is now in left, we can assume. Do we expect the Marsh Rojas platoon in center? If so, what are your thoughts on that? And is that a championship situation in center field, Chris?
I mean, probably not, but I think that their defense isn't going to hurt you. Neither of them's defense is going to hurt you. So if that's now the only slow spot, supposedly, of the offense, I'll deal with their defense out there. I mean, look at the Yankees. This fucking dude, Trent Grisham, he hasn't hit over 200 in like fucking 6 seasons. And the dude has an everyday job because he's a Gold Glover.
Yeah.
So, like, I think there's a spot for him. I'm not as concerned. You'd love to see Marsh take it over. You just would. But I think, are we going to be in the situation where, like, a left-hander or a right-hander starts and Marsh starts? I think the first time, a left-hander comes in, you switch it out. If it's late in the game and we're ahead, right? If it's late in the game and we're not ahead, Rojas isn't giving you anything offensively, where Marsh is probably even a little bit more, but that's just kind of my thoughts on it.
Johnny?
Yeah. I, like Dugan said, they flip-flopped it on us. I thought it was going to be Marsh and Hayes on left, and you had the righty specialist and the lefty specialist, like against, batting-wise, and you were going to get a complete player. Now you don't have a complete player so much at the plate because, I mean, they're pretty good defensively, but, I mean, I was just telling Mike before we started, I heard on the radio earlier someone saying they don't think Marsh is going to be here next year, and it got me thinking. I might agree with that. I'm thinking, like, in the off season, maybe someone that was too expensive with the deadline maybe becomes cheaper. Maybe they can make a deal, package Rojas and Marsh, or throw Marsh in a package. Maybe Marsh is gone and Rojas gets sent down. Rojas is a bench guy, something. But I think we're going to get a center fielder in the off season somehow, cheaper, a little bit cheaper, and not have to give up as much. And actually, I'm hoping we do. That way, we can solidify that. I was hoping we would have did a deadline, but it is what it is.
We got Dugan's boy, Cody.
Huh?
Cody B, right? Isn't he up?
Yeah,
Cody Bellinger?
He can opt out. Yeah, I think he can opt out of his deal.
Weed's legalized in Philly and Jersey. Fucking Cody Bellinger, man. Come on. We got you.
I hit a home run, and then I got high.
Well, John just kind of led me into my next question, and Dugan, you started. Like, did Double D get it right enough at the deadline, and what could or should he have done differently? And what are you excited about what he got done, and what are you disappointed? You want to start?
I was like everybody else. I wanted a center fielder. I was happy with all the moves. I wanted another. When he took too long between the first 2 moves and the moves at the deadline, I was getting frustrated and pissed because I got excited because, fellas, every year since he's been here, he usually waits till the last minute. Then it's like, oh, we grab this guy. Oh, we grab this guy. This year, he struck kind of a little early, and he said you have to be aggressive with this market, blah, blah, blah. So he made those first 2 moves, Estevez and Hayes.
Oh, Hayes, yeah.
So I was excited. I'm like, ooh, Double D's wheeling and dealing. All right. Then a couple days go by. It's like, dude, what's this dude? Like, are we done? This is crazy. And then finally, right before the deadline, the strikes, we make those last couple moves. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what I really wanted was like, I didn't think we were going to get like a star, but I was hoping for another outfielder that could make an impact. Like you said, Dugan, like an impact fielder that had some kind of bat. And I was hoping for another arm, like even outside of Tanner's Banks, like another arm to help. And that's where I thought we fell short, like another outfielder, or even not just an extra bat on the bench, whatever, just something extra. I like the moves we made. I just wish we had at least like one or two more players. But I mean, going forward, I think if Hayes blossoms like I hope he does, and I've always liked the guy, like I said in the last segment, and these guys start getting in a groove themselves because they've been shit the bed. If they can all start connecting and go on a run, I think we'll be all right. And with the bullpen changes, we'll be all right. And I hope that Tyler Phillips can make an impact in the starting rotation too. Um, Depending on what they do with Taiwan, if they do a 6-man, whatever. But I mean, I think they definitely helped our club. I don't think they're huge needle movers, but I think it was enough. Now it's on the players to do their job.
Yeah, Chris, real quick. The prospects we got, Seth Johnson and Moises Chance. Give me your opinion on, we're trying to win now, right? Why are we, investing in the future if we're trying to win a World Series this year versus getting somebody else to help us this year?
That's one of the things. Like Seth Johnson, like the dude has pretty good numbers, honestly. But I'm like, he's double A, right, or single A. And the other guy, like, I didn't even bother looking because exactly to your point. I'm like, if he's not helping us now, I don't give a fuck about him.
I think it was part to replenish the two guys they gave up
Yeah.
in the Hayes deal. So you just kind of get them back, the two minor leaguers you gave up. But I thought a sneaky move for the Phillies because I don't know about you three guys. I'm fucking worried about Ranger Suarez. I don't think he's healthy. I don't know if he's going to be healthy the rest of the season. So I thought a sneaky move would have been like a 4 or 5 starter, just a dependable guy who's got a track record for giving you innings, like a Jack Flattery kind of guy, like somebody like that. I thought might be someone the Phillies would look at because you can't obviously you can't bank on Taiwan, and they're not going to use Taiwan Walker in the playoffs. At most, you need 4 starters going into a playoff series, and it's going to be Wheeler, Nola, and Sanchez are the 3 at this point. But Suarez would be your 4th, but you could have also just got another guy, and Suarez could have moved into the bullpen and kind of been, a double-edged sword guy that can come in and give you 4 innings out of the bullpen to get you to the guys that are hot, Hoffman and Estevez and whoever's going well at the time. So I thought that would have been a sneaky move for the Phils at the deadline to kind of grab a starter. I think
Taiwan and Spencer fucked us on that.
Yeah.
Not Spencer because I don't know. I kind of like that dude. I hope he does get back, but I agree with you. I think Rangers done for the season. I don't think Phillies are fucking liars when it comes to injuries. They never tell us the truth.
Yeah.
For fucking years, they've done this shit.
He just hasn't looked right. He didn't look like he was finishing his pitches.
Yeah,
the ball,
the old
short arming it. Yeah. I thought that would be the sneaky move of starting pitching.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head too, Duke. And I was hoping for a Flaherty type. But I was praying for even Fetty maybe. Fetty was having a good year. That wouldn't have really costed you too much. I don't think it cost. Where'd he go to St. Louis, right? I don't think it cost the Cardinals. They did that 3-way trade and all. I don't think it cost them too much. So a guy like that to fill that back end of the rotation to help out. I was hoping that's where we're gonna sneak in there and get one of them guys, but. We shall see what happens.
All right, gentlemen, let me pay a couple bills. Join us at Victory Brewing Company, everybody, on the Ben Franklin Parkway, Monday, August 12th from 6 to 9 for Phillies trivia to benefit the Pennsylvania SPCA. Trivia night's hosted by Taryn Hatcher and Natalie Engenoff. Come test your Phillies knowledge and help the Pennsylvania SPCA deliver their life-saving services. Tickets are $8. because the Phillies won the World Series in 2008, 1980, and it's N3B's number. At least that's what it says on their website. Go to eventbrite.com and search PSPCA to order your tickets today. And also, a really important cause for one of my daughters, she goes to Penn State, is Thon. And Thon, for those of you that don't know, is fundraising that Penn State does for the fight against pediatric cancer. Last year, they raised almost $17 million. So this year, the Phillies are having a Thon night. It's August 14th. If you go on the Phillies website and use the code THON, THON, all one word, all caps, a portion of your ticket will be donated to Thon this year. If you can't make the game, you can donate at the link posted after this podcast on our page. So appreciate that, you guys. And one last thing. What's that?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, do you think that, like, Penn State should reach out to Cisco? Like, because I think that his song could be the perfect song.
It's
not thong, it's thong. I mean, maybe.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
maybe Dickie Thon could be the spokesperson.
There you go.
There you go.
yeah.
I'll get Natalie on that. And I don't know, as most of you guys know, but maybe some don't, the DPF family lost a couple of our amazing furry friends recently. And so in July, we fundraised by selling some T-shirts and some merch for PAWS, the Philadelphia Animal Welfare Society. We're happy to say that we were able to donate $370 today to PAWS. So we wanted to thank everybody that supported the effort in July by purchasing some T-shirts on our site. So thank you very much, and stay tuned for our next partnership. It'll be coming up soon.
Mike, I'm going to
go into
comments. Is that cool?
Yeah, go.
Yeah. Steve Mole is here. He is drunk at the link. And I'd like to announce that Jalen just ran for a 30-yard TD. Go Phils. So, I thought that was...
He ran for a 30-yard TD against the defense that's not allowed to touch him?
Yeah.
Nice.
And he also wanted to give a shout-out to Papa John. So, Steve Bolt, Papa John, little love fest. I love that. There was there was another one, Fred. Like, you said that you were yelling bunt from 7,000 miles away. Where the fuck do you live, Venus? I'm like, I don't know that anything.
Fred's in Baghdad. He's the guy in Baghdad.
Fred's in Baghdad. Yeah.
Is it 7,000 miles there? I'm just
surprised
at that.
It depends on if you go left or right.
Yeah. Well, true. Trout is out for the year, so John mentioned that he'll be able to go to preseason games for the Eagles this year, which it's nice. There's only one thing left to do: win the whole fucking thing. Let's go and fuck the Mets. Caesar, love him, awesome dude. Shane wants to bring in Charlie to light a fire up their asses. Charlie probably does have a little bit more fire because Rob just seems like droopy dog. You know what I mean? He's got those jowls that are just kind of sitting there. I'd rather have Foghorn Leghorn. He has a little bit more moxie, right, guys? Get him the fucking in there. Papa John, fucking A about that bunning. Loves that idea. So we're always like, oh, it's Ruben's sister. No, fuck that. It's the other way around. Listen to this. Back to the pounding and not getting pissed. Someone needs to beat that baby back bitch out of them and blowtorch their ass and get that fire going again. I nominate you. You're asking who, Alina? You. That fucking comment, you. That's fucking poetic. I love that. God,
she could get in too. She could get into that clubhouse.
Yeah.
She knows somebody. She knows a guy.
She knows a guy.
You know what? Her brother did look a little like, I don't know, dude. Looked a little bit like, give me those free candy vibes. Like, I don't. He was at like the that fish market up in Seattle, and we did what we do and put the free candy van behind it. I think he has a good sense of humor, believe it or not. I mean, I'm sure he hates our guts, but I get it. it's mutual, but we respect them, honestly. So we have someone new, Jake S. Wanted, and it's YouTube. Should have gotten Jazz or Randy. Yeah, man, Jesus. Imagine getting either one of these dudes.
Jazz shoved it up our ass, didn't he?
Yeah,
yeah, he did.
Shoved it right up our asses.
Yeah.
Do you think Jizz has shot his load though?
That's a good question, Mike. And an innuendo at the same time. I like.
I would have loved the first time T Mac messed up his name and called him Chaz Jizzle.
But how about this guy though? He never fucking played third base a game in the major league.
Never.
And he looked like fucking Mike Schmidt down there.
He looked good.
I mean, he's making every fucking play. Like, that's the kind of guy you want, though. He came in and said, "Where do you need me? I'll play wherever the fuck you want." And he got a rap of not being a team player and a bad clubhouse guy. His action said a little more to me, for the I want to win. I'll play wherever the hell you want. They got a good one there, I think.
And then Fred is 6,068 miles from Philly. You know what? And it's funny because I knew where he is from and I wanted to get a joke out and I just couldn't because I was going to say bag that ass up. Because I was doing, Cisco and I was like, you got to back that ass up. You, if I'm a young woman, you got to back that ass up. And finally, fuck Jizz. Fred, we appreciate you. Thank you.
There you go. Attaboy. All right, we're gonna continue with our second trivia here with the theme of July month. So, Cliff Lee threw a complete game and won 5-1 in his first start with the Phillies, just 2 days after he and Ben Francisco were acquired on July 31st, 2009 from Cleveland for Carlos Carrasco, Jason Donald, Lou Marson, and Jason Knapp. Who did Cliff Lee beat that day?
Ooh. That's a good question. I'm just going to say fuck the Mets. So is it the Mets?
Say Marlins?
No.
No.
What do you say, Duke?
Fuck the Mets. It was the Mets.
Was not the Mets.
The Indians.
No. National League West. I'll give you one more guess.
Padres.
Not the Padres.
Giants?
Giants. 5-1. Cliff Lee. Complete game. 2 days after he was acquired. I thought that was cool. All right, guys. Hey, I got one more question, and then we could go to final comments. What did we expect on this extended West Coast trip versus the 57 and 53 Seattle Mariners, who were tied for first in the AL West, the Dodgers, who were 63 and 46, up 4.5 games in the NL West, and the D-Bags, who are 58 and 51, 5 games behind the Dodgers? You want to start, Johnny?
I don't know where to start with this because I don't know what to expect, honestly. We could beat the Phillies and go out there and steamroll. We can go out and die, lay down and die, but I'm hoping for Seattle's good and they just made a couple moves. Dodgers made some moves. But we seem to have the Dodgers number lately. I know that was here. But I'm hoping to at least split the series with them, take a couple off Seattle. I'm hoping to come back over 500. I'll take that, a couple games over 500 as like a minimum.
Doogie?
I'm hoping for 6-4. I expect 3-7. I just don't think they're going to turn it around that fast.
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah, so I think 4-6 is like the best that we could possibly hope for on a road trip of, this tough. The one thing that I do want to say about this is if Seattle did make some changes, but if you think we can't hit, Seattle is fucking horrendous. So these could be, I don't know, I'm thinking low scoring games, honestly, but you never know. But I think they're coming back 3-7. And they win, won a series, or maybe, get 2 in Seattle. And, you'd hope that the 3, maybe it's the 3 at the end, but I think 4 and 6 is the top of what they're capable of right now.
All right.
What would we have said a month ago?
5 and
7 and
5,
3.
6 and 4.
7 and 3. Yeah.
7 and
Yeah.
3.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing how quick it changes.
All right. I think we're caught up on all the comments and everything. So we'll go last thoughts. Johnny, your bottom left. Fire away, my friend.
We've been playing like shit. I hope we don't continue to play like shit. And like Dugan said, I don't think we're going to turn it around that quickly. But I am hoping that we do come back like 6 and 4. Everybody's got to step up on every level. It's not just this thing or that thing. Everybody fucking blows right now. Like I can't say it enough. Starting pitching, the relievers, the manager, the hitters, like runners in scoring position. Jesus Christ, has that been horrible? Like you can't strand these runners. Play some small ball, make some contact, put the fucking ball in play. Let's play some Phillies baseball. Let's get some wins. That's all I got. And one quick little thing. Jordan Disson, who I've mentioned on this show a lot of times, has moved up the list of the prospects list. He's number 24th now. So congratulations.
Nice job,
And
Jordan.
I'll be out to a game soon to see you live in that action.
Dugan.
Harper said it. Your stars have to be your stars, and they haven't been. I mean, that's where this season rides, is in those guys. Harper, Schwarber, Turner, Castellanos, Wheeler, Nola, back end of the bullpen, Hoffman, Alvarado, Estevez. That's the season right there. Those guys need to man up, sack up, and fucking start playing baseball the way they're capable of playing, or this team isn't going anywhere. You need your stars to be your stars and your role players to play their roles. And in the last month, the stars have not been stars. And the role players have not been role players. And it's been ugly baseball, sloppy baseball. And that ain't going to win you shit. You might win the division still just because you jumped out to such a big fucking lead. But who gives a fuck if you win the division and you're playing like shit going into the playoffs? They need to right this ship, and they need to right it quick and get back to playing they were in the first half. Productive outs, cut down on the fucking strikeouts, play better defense, make better pitches, just make the plays, and start winning. The team's too fucking talented to be 20 and 23 in their last 43 games. Too fucking talented.
Dugan. Amy is on your team. Harper, Turner, Schwartz, Marsh, boom, Rents too.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps just reading that. Nice job, Amy. I love that. Chris,
That's
you're
my
up.
cousin. That's my cousin. She got my back.
Nice.
So, you know what? It's not just this season, right? Not to rehash things, but the 22, union won the fucking supporter shields, won the regular season, hits the bed. The Phillies get no hit. They lose the World Series the same day the union lose. And then the Phillies again the next year. They're coming home. They lose 2 games at home. No way that fucking happens. The Eagles are like fucking gangbusters. Shit the bed. The Sixers, everything's going good. Shit the bed. So, there's this, idea of, venom that's going through the city because, it's real. We're disappointed since since the Eagles won. There hasn't been anything good that's happened here, right? The Soul probably won, but who gives a fuck?
Who?
I don't know what the tallest building it is now. I think it's that cigarette pack one. But I think one of those iron workers needs to get the fuck up on top of it and put Billy Penn up top there. Fucking Sage ain't working. Someone go out there, put the Billy Penn up there. Or someone, I think that there's probably offices up there. One of you Comcast or Xfinity, you're working there. Take a fucking Billy Penn, just put it up on the patio up there. As long as it's higher than City Hall, I think nothing else is working. Sage didn't work, and it smelled like shit. So let's try to be 500 out there, guys. I'm so sick of being pissed off. The good part about it is, coming up, if you don't want to watch the game and you're old, they're on at 10 o'clock. You're going to be fucking asleep. Like you'll figure it out when they get back. And I honestly thought, like, you know what? Maybe I need a break. And I've said that before. It's normally about liquor and beer. But I thought, like, maybe I should just take a break from the Phils. But, like liquor and beer, I can't do it. So love you, Phil. Let's do something.
So a couple more, and then I'll get us out of here. 2-1 Seattle, sweep against LA again. 2-1 Arizona. Hey, I'm an optimist. Love it, Fred. And thanks again for your service, my friend. Appreciate you. I'm not saying that one because that's a pom-pom fan. I don't know what this means. Can you put Kate Smith back out?
Oh, Flyers
Statue.
statue of Kate Smith.
Oh, they took it down?
Yeah,
They took it down, yeah.
Yeah.
While I was away, they took it down. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
She
said
did some song
I
like
think.
150 years ago that someone didn't like. So
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, yeah, Chris, you left the Flyers out of your rant too. They were
Oh,
set in
yeah.
the playoff spot, and they made
yes, that's
Yeah.
another one, and we were like so into them, man.
Yeah.
And Bill says, hey. All right.
What's up, Bill?
All right, guys. Hey, let's pay a couple bills. Remember to go to Pensive Technology, guys. They do all kinds of networking, internet, and home automation needs there at pensivetechnology.com. Check them out today. Remember to join us at Victory Brewing Company on the Ben Franklin Parkway Monday, August 12th for some trivia about the Phillies. It benefits the Pennsylvania SPCA. Taryn Hatcher and Natalie Eganoff will be there, and they'll be doing all the trivia. It also benefits the Fandemic crew. So if you're supporters of those, come on out. I think tickets are $8. Yeah, tickets are
I think
$8
it's
at
SPCA too, right?
eventbrite.com. What's that?
Yeah,
It's the
SPCA.
I think it's the SPCA where money goes to as well.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania SPCA. Yep.
So that's cool.
And then I think that's it. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening. We appreciate everybody on the page. If you want us to talk about something and you can't be live, do what Steve Mold did. Go on the page and DM us. We'll do our best to get it on. We love interacting with you guys. If you see us at CBP, we always have shirts on like these or hats on like these. So make sure you stop us. You might get a free sticker or something. You never know what we have in our pocket. And so thanks a lot for supporting us. Just remember, fuck the Mets and fuck Joe Carter. He fucked up our entire childhood. So we'll talk to you guys next time on, I don't remember when, but we'll see you then. Talk to you soon.
Yep. See you guys. Thank you.